Okay, what's a controversial take that you've got on video games as far as a game that you love that may not be as loved by others? For me, I've re-fallen in love with Super Mario Bros. 2, and this came off of a conversation I had with a coworker recently. He hated this game, absolutely thought it was terrible, and I can understand that to a point. His favorite is Super Mario 3. My favorite Mario game of all time, Super Mario World. Now, part of Super Mario 2, as many of us know, is it wasn't originally a Mario game. It was Yume Kōjō Doki Doki Panic for the Nintendo Famicom Disk System in Japan. It was a collaborative effort between Nintendo and Fuji for one of their promotions that they had in the late 1980s. Now, while this was developed finally with Fuji in mind, it was actually developed with Super Mario in mind. Now, Kensuke Tanabe is the original director, and he actually had some input from Shigeru Miyamoto on Doki Doki Panic. Was released, did very well on the Famicom Disk System. Many of us know, some of us don't know, the fact that there was a Super Mario Bros. 2 sent over from Nintendo of Japan to Nintendo of America, and Howard Phillips tried it, played it, thought it was way too hard, did not enjoy the gameplay. It looked almost exactly like the original. Scrambling, trying to make the most that they could out of the heat and the popularity that they had from the original Super Mario Bros., they were then presented with Doki Doki Panic and the option to go ahead and reskin it for a Mario audience. And if you take a look at both games, the original Mario, Doki Doki Panic, there's definitely similarities between the two of them. Now, whether we're talking about on the NES, I actually have a version of the Famicom copy of Super Mario USA, which is what they called our copy of Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan. My favorite version is the version on Super Mario All-Stars. I love the sprite work on this, the Super Mario Brothers, or Super Mario World kind of graphics that have been added to this. Overall, it's a beautiful game to play. The difficulty is still there. I'm through 7 levels thus far. I've been replaying it on my Switch actually earlier today, and I've absolutely, like I mentioned, totally fallen back in love with this. But it all started with Doki Doki Panic, and it wound up as an all-star on the Super Nintendo. What do you think of Super Mario Bros. 2? Would you have liked to have gotten a more direct sequel to Super Mario Bros.? What we got here as the Lost Levels in Super Mario All-Stars and is available on the Switch? Do you actually have a fondness like I do for Super Mario Bros. 2? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.